Hello, on to week 20 of matches in the Australian A League then. First, have a look back on what happened in week 19 matches before I go ahead and give my predictions for this week's games. So starting off with Adelaide and Central Coast Mariners. Adelaide managed to win that game at 2-0. A couple of late goals in that match, and also I did a live watch along for this game as well too. It was Blackwood in 82nd and Troy in the 84th. 23-12 shots there. Central Coast Mariners were dominating, 5 shots each. And the amazing news out of this game was Troy, 15-year-old Adelaide, scoring their second goal. The youngest ever goal scorer in the A League by a good couple of years, and his 16th birthday is next month there. So very well done for him coming off the bench and scoring at such a young age. Wellington Phoenix got themselves a 1-0 victory over Melbourne City. My team, Wellington Phoenix from New Zealand, my country. It was David Bull in the 58th minute who got the goal, and he previously had a shot clear off the line prior to that, and there was a disallowed goal with Matty Steinman on the end of it after multiple people were trying to follow up and tap the ball home, but just marginally offside in the build-up. And then the goal came along with Gary Hooper setting up the goal for David Bull. Nice open clear spacing to get ourselves the victory. 13-6 shots for Melbourne City and 7 ball on target for them. But ultimately, a huge 3 points for my club there in Auckland in front of 15,000 fans. So great to see. But back at home, actual home in Wellington there for this week's game. Western Sydney got themselves a 1-1 draw against Newcastle Jets, with Mitchell Duke in the 5th minute slotting home a penalty kick. Jets equaliser in the 74th with Matthew Miller. 19-17 shots for the Jets and 7-6 on target for Western Sydney. And the final game was Brisbane Roar against Western United, with a 1-0 victory with Musa Muratovic in the 61st minute, 13-5 shots and 7-0 on target for me in the game. And how I got on for those matches, I managed to get 3 correct out of 4, so pretty good in the short and condensed week it was, on the back of a condensed week anyway, because of Western Sydney's postponed game there. So I managed to get 3 correct, 1 correct score. Adelaide against Central Coast correct, Wellington of course correct, Western Sydney and Newcastle Jets was the correct score in that 1-1 draw. The game I got won, I went for Western United over Brisbane. So yeah, and Gatman also joined in with his predictions there, so it's great to see. Feel free to get involved and put your own predictions for this week's matches down below. But unfortunately for him, he only managed to get 1 correct out of 4, so I managed to win this week's battle. And his correct one was Adelaide's victory over Central Coast Mariners. Even though for much of it, it didn't look like it was going to happen for their home sides, but it came through in the end. He bats my Phoenix side to only pick up a draw against Melbourne City, so and he went for the Wanderers to beat the Jets, and for Western to beat Brisbane Roar. So better luck next time there, Gatman. See if you can beat me for week 20, and anyone else that wants to join in, feel free to do so. So week 20 matches, starting off with my team at the Wellington Phoenix against Western United. 1 victory each, and 3-1 away win in a previous game for the Phoenix after a 1-0 loss against Western United at home to start the season. Odds for this game, $1.62 for Wellington Phoenix, $4 for the draw, $5 for Western United. And on the table currently, Wellington Phoenix find themselves in 5th spot now. 3 wins in the past 5 games, a couple of losses in there, but only 2 points behind third place for 3 points behind Melbourne City after beating them. So all very tight apart from Sydney. That's one away of things at the top of the league. So for this game here, got to go for Wellington Phoenix, and also stay tuned for tomorrow night's live watch along. Be doing this game here in 21 hours from now. So feel free to come along and chat. So I'm going to go for a 2-0 Wellington Phoenix victory. Next game is Western Sydney against Adelaide United. 9 wins for Adelaide, 7 wins for Western, and 8 draws. Last 6, 2 wins each and 2 draws. Odds for this game at 2.37 for Western Sydney, 3.40 for the draw, 2.88 for Adelaide. On the table, Western Sydney are an 8-1 victory and a draw in their past 5 games, while for Adelaide in 4th with 4 wins out of 5 matches. And for this game here, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. Next game is between Brisbane Roar and Perth Glory. 22 victories for Brisbane, 11 wins for Perth, and 9 draws. Perth 3 wins and a draw in their past 5 matches. Odds for this game at 3.25 for Brisbane, 3.40 for the draw, $2.10 for Perth. On the table, Brisbane Roar are in 6th spots, 4 wins in the past 5 matches, while for Perth, 3 victories and 2 draws for them in the past 5 games. Gonna go for the away side Perth Glory to pick up a 3-1 victory. Next game is Newcastle Jets against Melbourne Victory. 16 wins for the Jets, 17 wins for the Victory, and 8 draws. Last 5 games, 4 wins for Victory and 1 victory for the Jets. Odds for this game at 2.20 for Newcastle, 3.40 for the draw, and $2.88 for Melbourne Victory. On the table, Newcastle Jets are in 10th spots, 1 victory, 2 draws in the past 5 games. Melbourne Victory also down the table in 9th place with only 1 draw to go with 4 defeats in the past 5 matches. Absolutely woeful, shambolic season for them, which is quite surprising. Gonna go for just a 1-1 draw in this game here to not help either side to try and push on and make that top 6 for the playoffs of the season. And the final match is between Central Coast Mariners and Sydney FC. 20 wins for Sydney, 11 wins for Central Coast, and 9 draws. Sydney unbeaten in the last 6 games with 4 wins and 2 draws. Odds for this match, $5 for Central Coast, $3.75 for the draw, $1.57 for Sydney. And on the table, Central Coast are bottom, 11th place, losing the past 5 matches. And for Sydney, top of the table, winning the past 5 matches, with only losing 1 game this season, 13 victories, 1 draw, 1 defeat. Got 3 games in hand over 2nd place Melbourne City, a game in hand over 3rd place Perth, 2 over Adelaide, Wellington, Brisbane, Western United. So lots of games in hand and a 10-point lead as well to minimum. So they're definitely probably going to win the minor premiership there this season as things stand. But there's still the playoff trophy to be up the grapes at a later date. But it's going to be tough with bottom against top. Generally, you have to go for the top team to pull off the victory. And they also have missed out playing in the last couple of weeks there because of the postponed match against Western Sydney of flooding. And they also got a bye from last week as well too. So I'm going to go for Sydney to get a 3-0 victory in this match here. And that concludes my week 20 A-League predictions there. Feel free to put your own predictions down below so I can share them for next week's week 21 predictions there and see how we go on and see if you can beat me. And feel free to check out all my other prediction videos if you're interested. Also do the European leagues covering the Premier League, Scotland, Spain La Liga, the German Bundesliga, French Liga 1, Scottish Premiership, so all that great stuff there. If you want to, feel free to do so, and a few other little hidden videos as well too. So lots of context if you're interested. Otherwise, come back again for week 21 A-League matches and see if anyone can get a perfect score. Thumbs up and subscribe until then, and see ya later.